What do you do when you find yourself in these situations? What do you do when you actually just want to roll in the sidewalks, call it a day, shut the door, lock it, and forget the whole thing? What do? You got to have courage, and you got to have commitment. Strong things. Let's talk about some lessons. And this is the first part. The second part will be after homecoming. Remember, next week you would tell somebody, y'all want to have a good homecoming, we're going to talk about zombies. Eating flesh. Then we're going to go over and eat chicken. All right. So really, look, here's lessons about courage and commitment. See the three Hebrew boys. Everybody's bowing. Everybody's bowing, but who? Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Somebody said, where was Daniel? It's thought that Daniel, because he was also an ambassador for the king, and what he did, that he was somewhere else at this time, because you know Daniel would not have bowed. And so Daniel wasn't even there at this time, according to studies and things. But here's what's going on. Now here it is. They're bowing everywhere, trying to make the king happy. You know, I got some stuff, and I actually was watching, and it really kind of blew my mind, listening to how some of these politicians, how they switch back and forth. And how they're for something when they're in one crowd, and they're against it when they're in another crowd. No, you can't be for it in this crowd and against it in that crowd. You've got to be either for it or against it with no matter what crowd you're in. Because if you don't, God's watching. He's the ultimate. All right? So here it is. First thing about talk about commitment first. And again, commitment is actually dedication. How many is dedicated to your family? How many is dedicated to your job? How many is dedicated to God? Think about it. So here we go. Here it is. If you're dedicated, no matter where you're dedicated, whether it be your family, whether it be God, again, dedicated with your time, your talent, your treasure, your commitment is going to be tested. I had no idea that I was going to see the things I saw, and had no idea I was going to hear the things I heard, and actually heard the woman out of my own ears say, we don't need church. Matter of fact, I don't need Christianity. I'm a universalist. Jesus Christ is just another prophet. And when she said that, a stake drove in my heart. Because they all around her believed the same way. And I said, you can't take Christ out of this. You know what I felt like? At that place talking to her? I felt like him, or him. While I watched everybody around bowing down. And I said, God, show me how to make a difference with these people. God's watching. Your commitment, God's loving. But your commitment, Satan hates. And because he hates your commitment, it's gonna be tested. Watch this. This commitment, the test to your commitment first is going to begin usually with a struggle. The Bible says, wherefore at the time you hear, they come and said, the Chaldeans come and said, Nebuchadnezzar, you got 3 guys, they're not falling down. What's going on? These guys aren't falling down when they hear the music. And so he goes to them and says, you've put them in charge. So they're supposed to be doing something because they're in charge. They're supposed to be bowing down, and they're not. And King says, bring them to me. He says, guys, aren't you paying attention? You're supposed to be bowing. And they said, huh? We're not bowing of this. So you see, watch this now. I want you to listen very carefully. This is so powerful right here. You see, it begins with a struggle. Listen carefully. It's seldom, your commitment seldom surrounds your abilities or your gifts. There's going to come a day, it may be temporary, it may be permanent, when your gifts are going to dry up. There may come a day when your resources may dry up. You may find yourself at the brook sheriff. There may come time when your ability is hindered because now you can no longer play or sing or whatever you do or build. You can't because of injuries or sickness. Commitment is not based on your abilities and on your gifts. Please do not get that thought in your head, if your commitment is based on what you have the ability to give, you've got it all wrong. I coached for years. Coached football, basketball, baseball. And you could give me any day, you'd give me somebody that was committed, or somebody that had all grades of talent and was not committed. And I would take the person that was committed that had little ability over the person that was uncommitted with the great ability. Because the one with the great ability that was uncommitted, I couldn't depend on him. But the one with little bit of ability, you could teach him because he was committed. And God's looking for us to see if we're committed. See, it's got little to do with abilities and gifts, but it's got to do with our character. How many realize that it's your character that God is looking at? He knows He's given you your ability. See, here it is. Watch this. He's given you the ability. He's given you the gifts. But your commitment is what you give back to Him. Think about it. Whatever you can do, whatever you're good at, God gave it to you. But your commitment to Him is your gift back to Him. And so again, that's got to do with your character. Now watch this. So because of that, it is a result of choice, not conditions. Doesn't matter the conditions. I got my mind made up. They said we didn't even think about it. We don't even think about it. We know our mind's made up. Whether we burn or not, we're not going to serve you. Whether He delivers or not, He can, but if He don't, we're still not bowing you. This day and time it would be, do what you will, but we're not going to cave in to the pressure. Think about it. So bowing, think about it this way, because we say we're not bowing. How many is caved into the pressure? The politicians call it evolving. When they see that they're not they're looking at the polls. So when they see the polls and see that in order for them to get elected, they're going to have to change their position. So they change their position and then say, watch this, we're evolving. Really? I thought that stopped. Matter of fact, if evolution is true, then why are there still so many monkeys and so many people? So watch. Your commitment is going to be tested. Your commitment is what gets you in the game. Your commitment, when I was a coach, somebody that was committed, I made sure everybody started. They all took turns. Everybody always started. Nobody ever did come to me and complain their child didn't play. They always played. No matter what age level we were at, even into high school, everybody played. And the person with the most commitment, even if he couldn't play, he got a chance. Matter of fact, there's one story, I don't want to get into it too much, except for there was this guy that was committed, this young man. I coached basketball for 4 years at Benson. I coached for so long that DC aged out and became a coach with me. And so, you had 2 Linton coaches. Can you imagine 2 Linton coaches? Wow. And so this young man was so committed, his mama died. He couldn't play very good at all. But I always gave him a chance to start. One of the games he would start. Now they would play a whole quarter before I pulled him out. You know, always. And so then I put him back in off and on with the other guys that were committed. And his mama died. And they buried her on game night. On game day. The game was that night. You might remember this. His mama died. They buried her that afternoon. I had no idea I was going to see him. By game time, he came up. And he said, Coach, I'm here. I said, you shouldn't be here. He said, I would be nowhere else. I want to be here. He's like 12 years old, 13. And I said, okay. Get in the starting lineup. And I put him in the starting lineup, and he started playing. And the recreational director for the school, or the sports director, or whatever they call him in school, athletic director, came to me and said, you need to take him out. And I said, why should I take him out? He said, he didn't go to school today. And I said, they buried his mama today. She said, I don't care what they did. He didn't go to school today, take him out of the game. I said, you're kidding. She says, no, I'm not kidding. He didn't follow the rules. He didn't go to school today. He doesn't play. I said, his mama died. They buried her today. And she said, Mr. Linton, take him out. I said, well, you go back and stand over there. I'll take care of this. And y'all notice how Brother Pollock always seems to look at some of us. All the time he says somebody doesn't quite follow the rules. Well, she stood over in the corner, and I didn't even play. He played the whole first half, and she was going. You could see the steam rolling off her head. I kept letting him play. Come back in and said, I have to come in, coach. I said, no, get back out of there. And he played the whole first half. She come walking over and said, what did I tell you? I said, I'm taking him out. She said, when? So I looked over at the guy at halftime. I said, at the halftime break, I said, look, buddy, you've played a tremendous game tonight. I said, are you ready to sit down and rest a little bit? He says, yeah, I'm ready now. I feel so much better. So I set him down. I looked over at him and went,